Today we're here in Chicago's financial district during a period of the U.S. economy filled with extreme economic uncertainty, from who's going to be president to global tensions rising around the world. But despite all this, the stock market is up 26% in the last year. So today we're going to be interviewing some people who work in this area to hear their thoughts on everything, how the rich are investing their money, and most importantly, how should the average person be investing during this time. So guys, to start things off, the stock exchange building is right in front of me. So we're going to try and head up the stairs and hopefully we can talk to some cool people. Excuse me, sir. What do you do for a living?
I'm an analyst in a bank.
And how much money do you make your job?
I think my gross income is $80,000.
So being in the space of the financial markets, what are your thoughts on like the current economic state in the US?
I don't do any financial analysis. I'm just a programmer. So I develop tools to improve the risk management into the bank.
Today, a lot of brokers on trading floors have been replaced by computers running algorithms, and this can be seen in both Chicago and New York City.
At our height, we had about 5,000 people working on the trading floor. Today, we have 300.
This has, however, opened up many new jobs in banking in the IT or cybersecurity field. But higher up jobs above taking simple stock orders, such as investment banking jobs or jobs as a portfolio manager, are still seen today. And I actually got to talk to a fund manager who is also French.
I used to be a banker, and now I am an asset manager. I invest the money of my clients.
Got it. And how much money can you make in that profession?
In France, it's very less. You can have 300,000 euros each year. I think it's 5 times less than in the United States.
When you're investing as an asset manager, what kinds of things are you looking at right now?
We have 2 sides. The first one is a financial one. If we buy the stocks, equity shares of a company, good growth, good figures. And we have another side, which is environmental care, social care, good governance. This is very important for us today.
So it's not only about what's going to give you the most growth, you're also investing in things that are better for the world. What are your thoughts on something like Bitcoin?
No, I don't like Bitcoin. It's a robbery.
Damn.
There is nothing behind. When people will see that there is nothing behind, they will just let it down, and the Bitcoin will just drop. You know, for good money, you have to have a strong state, a strong bank. If there is a crisis, you need a strong state to have a strong money.
Got it. And what do you think about the Federal Reserve dropping interest rates today, 50 basis points? On the day I filmed this video, Jerome Powell broke the news that the Federal Reserve will begin cutting interest rates, starting with a 50 basis point cut. Critics of this decision believe that this might cause prices to rise even more, as inflation is still not at ideal levels, while proponents argue that this decision was way overdue.
I think it's a good thing.
Do you think it could cause inflation?
No. Inflation is reducing step by step. I don't think it will be a risk.
And let me ask you, historically, as like interest rates get cut, usually the markets go down. Do you think that will be the case this time?
The economy is slowing down. That's why the 50 basis point decision is a good one, because we will have a chance that the economy could grow again. And I think the stock market will stabilize, because there are a risk that the economy could slow down further, despite the decrease in the interest rates.
After speaking with the French portfolio manager, I began wondering, do other workers on the Chicago Stock Exchange have similar thoughts? What do you do for a living?
I work in finance.
What do you do for a living?
Finance?
What do you do for a living?
Commercial banking.
Excuse me, sir. Can I interview you for a video? Take 2 minutes.
That's about all I have.
Perfect. What do you do for a living?
I manage money for insurance companies.
What does that entail?
Basically, it entails looking at your client, an insurance company. We run the asset side of the balance sheet, which is their investments, and then we manage those investments with their risk tolerance, obviously in accordance with the state insurance code.
What kind of stuff do you invest the insurance company's money in usually?
In investment-grade fixed income assets, so corporate bonds, U.S. Treasuries, and other exotica like mortgage-backed securities and asset-backed securities.
And how are you personally investing your money during this time?
I'm an equity guy, so I'm a big believer in passive investing. I've got S&P equity index funds. It's a large part of my equity exposure in my personal portfolio.
How are you investing your money right now?
I have it in ETFs tracking, the S&P passive investments, but for anyone starting off, looking into a basket of stocks rather than just one would be better off for you.
My 401k, S&P 500, ETFs, everything in my 401k.
The next portion of this video is sponsored by Moomoo. Thanks, guys. And if you guys want to start investing, for a limited time, Moomoo is offering up to 15 free stocks if you click the top link down below in the description to get started. When you join the app and deposit $100, you get a sign-up bonus of 5 free stocks. And when your account reaches $1,000 in total deposits, you get an additional 10 free stocks. And if that wasn't enough for you guys, Moomoo also offers $0 in commission on any stock, ETF, or options trade. You seriously can't beat that, so join me in using Moomoo to buy, sell, or trade the stock market. I'm currently growing this small portfolio with $500, so check out Moomoo down below. And now let's ask these stockbrokers the secret to getting rich. What are your tips for anyone who wants to get get rich?
Study hard, work hard. It's a marathon, not a sprint.
I have to study to find a good starting job, and then to go to merger and acquisition, or to asset management, or to a market bank.
Do you own any Bitcoin?
No.
And what is your personal net income?
I'm not going to share.
And what are your thoughts on Bitcoin?
The scope of the light is not really on Bitcoin anymore, but as we see more of, certain countries or policies to where, digital currency is big, you'll see a rally in Bitcoin.
I stay away from Bitcoin. I'm more of a long play, blue chip companies that you use, but I got lucky at NVIDIA.
NVIDIA, that was a good one. Hell yeah.
I'm not a big believer in Bitcoin, probably because I'm older, but to me, it's just like there's no tangible asset there. I think it's a great technology, but you're really relying on what somebody else will pay you for it. There's no cash flow associated with it, so I'm happy to sit it out.
Going into November, what president do you think will be better for the stock and equities market, Trump or Kamala Harris?
I think they're both would be positive because I think the momentum in the business community is such that I think either will carry the day from an equity perspective. They're both going to spend, deficits going up, and when you spend money like that, equity market's going to go up, so it really doesn't matter who it is.
I don't think we're at a point where we can answer that yet. Both of them are pretty still vague with their economic policies and walking back a lot of statements that they have already been making. So I think we need to hear more from both of them about what their strong economic policies are going to be.
Trump or Kamala Harris?
Well, I don't really have that question for you, but I would say no matter what the outcome is, you should do your best research to make sure that you're well off financially no matter what the outcome is.
That's good advice. And lastly, how much money do you make?
That's a personal question, but I would say that I'm doing pretty well for myself.
You might be surprised that in this video, we didn't just interview people in suits who work in finance. These days, people are getting rich via methods that don't allow them to dress all fancy. Some of the richest people in the world might appear homeless from the outside. We're doing a YouTube video, like interviewing people who work around the stock exchange. What are you up to today?
Being tired.
Being what?
Tired.
Tired. Why are you tired?
I get up at 2 o'clock in the morning every day.
Why'd you get up so early? We interviewed literally everybody we could, but here's the story of some other Chicago residents and how they're investing their money. What do you do for a living?
I work as a supply chain analyst.
I'm a paralegal.
So I'm a private banking associate.
I work for the Department of Homeland Security.
Oh shit, what's that like?
You know the migrants that cross?
Oh shit, okay, so like all the people like, oh yeah.
I can't talk about
Yeah, that makes sense, yeah. Do you invest in any stocks?
Not at the moment.
Do you invest in any Bitcoin?
Not at the moment.
I contribute to a 529 plan and they manage it for me.
Do you think that Trump or Kamala Harris will be better for the economy going forward?
I'm gonna go with Trump. During the Trump years, we had one of the best great economies in the history of this country. It went down during COVID and the shutdowns really did kill this economy, but I would definitely Trump. I feel more comfortable with another Trump administration than Kamala.
Kamala Harris.
And what is your thoughts behind that?
There's trade, which is important and was catastrophic in the previous Trump administration.
Having a little squabble with China because we've been treated very unfairly for many, many decades, for actually a long time.
I don't really care about taxing the rich. I would rather tax the rich, and I think that's better for the economy in the sense that it's better for the well-being of people, which I care about more than like strict growth.
Is it a goal of yours to get rich?
Not really.
Working for the government? I can't really say. I think either one. I don't know. I don't think either are to blame though for the economy now.
Well, thank you so much. Yeah, bye. That was an interesting one. She works for the Department of Homeland Security, but she said she can't talk about any of the migrant situation, nor do I really care about that or know anything about it. So type shit. Let's interview some more people here. Could I interview you? It'd take like 2 minutes.
2 minutes, I'm on the clock, so yeah.
Perfect. So what do you do for a living?
I work in the legal profession.
What kind of cases do you specialize in?
Price liability, international litigation.
And what does that like mean exactly?
When there's industrial manufacturing machines that happen to malfunction, apparently it's our problem, so we defend our clients, making sure that they get the representation that they need to ensure that, in fact, our machines were properly operating because our machines are not defective.
Good to know. And what do you make at your job?
In terms of salary? I make $80K, but I'm a young guy.
Do you invest any of your money in stocks, Bitcoin? How do you buy?
Silver.
Silver? So not gold, silver?
I can't afford gold.
Is it
I
good
don't trust
hedge?
fiat currency. For someone who studied history, I studied a lot of financial and monetary policy since Bretton Woods in 1971 with Nixon, and then with 1913 with the other agreements. They went off that standard, and the last time that we had a political party that advocated for the silver standard was in 1896, I believe. And then the last guy that did was John F. Kennedy. And then, what happened with him.
And ever since we got off the gold standard, you've seen that like inflation and like the average worker's salary per proportion has gone down like substantially.
Since 1971, of course.
Yeah,
I mean,
100%.
That's just a statistical fact.
Yeah. And we also got to speak with the government lobbyist.
I work in government affairs. It's lobbying, business support, legislative affairs. Yeah.
You work for the government?
No, I work for a business association.
Okay.
Representing their interests. Yeah.
Oh, so you work for businesses that like try to like get the government to like pass certain laws or like get the newest news on certain regulations and stuff?
Sometimes, yeah. Regulations, legislative affairs.
Who would be a better presidential candidate, Kamala Harris or Donald Trump?
There's a lot of mixed opinions on that, you know?
Just depends?
It depends. The business community is very divided. I mean, you see that on the national stage all the time. It's very divided. Yeah.
Sweet. This video was very eye-opening, and I even took a tour of the Chicago Federal Reserve.
Should this be the thumbnail of the vid?
They show like how the bills of the United States used to look over time. They used to have a $500 bill. This used to be the 20. This used to be the 2. George Washington used to be on the $20 bill. This Indian used to be on the 5. Do you think there's actually $1 million in here? Look at that, guys. What the hell? And at the end of the day, I learned that who's president doesn't really matter. Just work your hardest to generate a good income for yourself and be sure to invest as much of it as you can. Don't let it sit in cash or else you'll lose it to inflation. Before you go, be sure to click the top link down below to open an account with Moomoo and get up to 15 free stocks. Thanks so much, Moomoo, for sponsoring this video, and I will see you guys soon with another one. Peace out.